Notification volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have for you Transformers War for Cybertron, Siege, APE-Face in his jet mode. APE-Face is a horror con, and this is going to be continuation of the horror con series in preparation and excitement for Halloween. Got to celebrate those spooky days. Well, let's get to it. This is actually one of my least favorite jet modes out of everything, and it's like they had so much to work with here, and it just failed so much. So before we begin, really, let's get into the measurements so you can understand what we're dealing with here in size. So width wise, we can just measure width and length at the same time. I don't know why I don't do this more often. All right, so I'm just going to set you there and make sure that you're there. And so wingtip to wingtip, he's about 16 studs wide. And all the way to here is the N. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27 studs long by 16 studs wide. We'll get the comparison to Cliff Jumper. Here's Cliff Jumper. You got on you, Cliff Jumper? Oh, it's the little rocket. I'm just going to change that a little bit. We'll turn it into a rocket antenna. There you go. And you have a rocket antenna. All right. So Cliff Jumper measures from the back of this guy, stretches the length of this bulbous area on the side. So that used to be his legs. So it stretches from the very tip of the back of the. I guess these are little engines that pop out the back. I assume they are. I mean, I may have transformed it wrong. I've never actually seen this guy transform. So he stretches the entire length of the jet mode before it comes down into its nose piece. So there we go. Not counting the back bit that sticks out. And width-wise, Cliff Jumper is as long as this vehicle is wide, not counting the wings. There you go, Cliff Jumper, go away. Now, let's get into talking about this guy. So, before I forget, please like and subscribe, share and comment, and hit that bell if you want some notifications whenever I release new stuff. All right, now that bit's done. I'm not really happy with this. I mean, I think on one end, it's a unique design for a spaceship thing. It is kind of cool. It's just that there's too much happening here in the middle. The wings aren't really long enough. They're actually kind of stupid in my opinion. And even though they have siege ports on them, the way they have to work with this piece that was his shield that plugs into the top, it doesn't allow for the siege ports to be utilized completely. Also, he does have two of those little rectangular siege ports, one under each of the wings. So in this mode, he's got two big ones, two small ones, and one in the nose, so three big ones, and 4, 5. He's got 5 siege ports in his vehicle mode here, which isn't that many. I would like more, them to have done more siege ports on the underside of the wing and maybe made these wings longer and a little more streamlined so that they could sit out further away from these gorilla, or I guess they're the gorilla legs that are currently folded up to act as kind of side engines that are supposed to go under the wings. But the wings are just set too far back, and they're not wide enough. They don't cover as much area as you would think wings should. And this is a headmaster, so he's got a really cool effect of he's got a pilot. But here's the other issue with this figure: the pilot's little capsule is hidden underneath um, this weird little thing that was his shield that has it has two little winglets that stick up on the sides. It doesn't make any sense that it should go there. You would think it'd go anywhere else. Maybe further back to give this thing a little more stability. But no, it's just, I mean, I've heard people describe this thing as a flying brick, and honestly, I see having it in my hand, I know exactly what they mean by that. So you could take off the little wing shield thing on his top, and that allows you to open up the canopy and pull out your little headmaster from his cockpit seat. So here's the little headmaster right here. He's not really that big, but they are kind of cool. I don't know anything about the paint on him, but his texturing is nice. I mean, I do appreciate that they actually went so far as to texture him. Even if it's just slight texturing, it's still something. I mean, you can actually feel that there's, a midsection, little breast armor there across the chest. He's even what feels like has some molding in the face department. So he has a face that's molded in there. That's pretty cool. I do wish that they had done more with the arms for the headmaster. Maybe allowed the panel to fold backwards, even if it was a small panel, so that the arms would look more like arms instead of like, what is it? Whenever a person loses a lot of weight quickly and they have those flaps under their arms of the excess skin. Yeah. For the headmaster, now imagine those flaps, but instead of hanging with gravity, they're reversed on gravity, and they just kind of hang upwards. That's what this reminds me of. He's got these two long flaps of skin armor that just kind of hang upwards, as if he used to be a lot bigger, but now he's smaller. And yeah, those parts go into the head, so that the head looks nice, but it is a little annoying in this regard. Of course, he's got the face upside down on his back, so he's never surprised. He can always see somebody sneaking up on him. But let's put him back in there, and I don't know the name of the headmaster. I honestly would consider the headmaster to be APE-Face, and then APE-Face to actually just be the vehicle that the headmaster runs. That'd be neat. I thought that would always have been a really cool thing. IDW played with that approach. So to get him back in there, you just put him back in the cockpit. You close the cockpit door. In front of the cockpit door is a siege port, and this shield thingy with the two little winglets on the sides has a very long siege peg, so it can actually fit into that siege port. So we're just gonna use our finger to find it and set it in there and squeeze it down. Cool. I don't like the fact that it seals up like that. It is really annoying. Snapdragon his jet mode is actually a lot better than this one. They really worked hard on that one. I don't know what to do with these little legs for the gorilla mode. I assume they're like engines that look kind of like this. I've got the little legs stuck up so that the weird texture paneling underneath is visible, because I assume that's something like engines, so he can just fly around. His gun is actually in the nose cone area, and I do appreciate that all of his weapons and accessories do store on the vehicle. The nose does not snap into place like it should. I keep trying to, and it keeps coming undone. This is either a QC issue or a design issue, and there went the gun. I'm going to assume design issue. This thing's got a lot of design issues. Yeah, it's fine. Put the gun back. So yeah, I'm not really too happy with this mode. This mode is one of my least favorites that I have. It definitely ranks up there with Double Dealer's Bird mode and a few other things that I have that I can't think about right now. Anyway, yeah. So overall, I don't give this thing a good rating. I think it's a really crappy mode. It's a neat idea on a jet for a Cybertronian style jet, but the follow through really sucks. This bit in the front not wanting to connect, all of these loose things that don't have pegs to hold them into place. I just like that when that happens, and I dropped the gun again. I just like it whenever they give you a lot of loose pegs and a lot of loose joints. When they want you to transform something into a triple changer, give us some ratchets so that we, understand which mode goes into which section. So, when we move something into a place, it just sits there instead of just being super loose and requiring that you make all these little bitty tiny adjustments everywhere at all times in order to get everything snapped into place. And then one of those things moves out of place and everything falls apart. And this is a great example of that. There's just too much Too many moving pieces, and everything just falls apart too easily on him. He's not. He sucks. He sucks as an aircraft, and I hate to say that. I really wanted this to be a really fun Cybertronian bomber style thing, but it just it didn't have the follow through. Though, and before I leave you, little neat thing that I discovered is you can actually set him on his since his back end is so flat, you can actually set him there like he's going to lift off vertically, like the Seekers used to in the original G1 show. But anyway, guys, I'm Blind Prime. Keep an eye out for the next episode, which will be covering his monster form, which gives him his name APE-Face. He's got a giant monster monkey. Phrasing. And so that will be coming out tomorrow, and I look forward to hearing from you then. Until next Prime.